Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Everything Krishna says is important. Everything about first though, a little bhajan so we get the mercy of Krishna. Jaya Raja Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivakacharya Sarasisimat. His Divine Grace Sri Lasi Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivakacharya Sarasisimat. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod Ki Jai. Sri Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Sri Gaur-Nitai Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premananda Hari Hari Bo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana-timirandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Didati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prajna Setam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Kṛṣṇa Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Govesha Govika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Yapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhana Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Today's verse number 2 of number 7, chapter entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. Please repeat. Jñānam teham sa-vijñānam idam vakṣyāmi aśeṣataḥ nyaj jñātvā neha bhūyo jñātavyam, avaśiṣyate, jñānam teham sa-vijñānam, idam vakṣyāmi aśeṣataḥ, jñātvā neha bhūyo nyaj, jñātavyam avaśiṣyate, jñānam teham sa-vijñānam, idam vakṣyāmi aśeṣataḥ, jñātvā neha bhūyo nyaj, jñātavyam avaśiṣyate. Aham jñānam, idam vakṣyāmi, neha yat, anam jñānam visiṣyate, jñānam teham sa-vijñānam, idam vakṣyāmi aśeṣataḥ, yajñātvā bhūyam nyaj, jñātavyam avaśiṣyate, jñānam teham sa-vijñānam, idam vakṣyāmi aśeṣataḥ, yajñātvā bhūyo nyaj, jñātavyam avaśiṣyate, jñānam teham sa-vijñānam, idam vakṣyāmi aśeṣataḥ, jñātvā neha bhūyo nyaj, jñātavyam avaśiṣyate. Okay, word for word, please repeat. Jñānam, phenomenal knowledge. Te, unto you. Aham, I. Sa, with. Vijñānam, numinous knowledge. Idam, this. Vakṣyāmi, shall explain. Aśeṣataḥ, in full. Yat, which. Jñātvā, knowing. Not. Iha, in this world. Bhūyaḥ, further. Anyat, anything more. Jñātavyam, knowable. Avaśiṣyate, remains. So, translation, Srila Prabhupada. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Please repeat. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Purport, Srila Prabhupada. Complete knowledge includes knowledge of the phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, and the source of both of them. This is transcendental knowledge. The Lord wants to explain the above-mentioned system of knowledge because Arjuna is Kṛṣṇa's confidential devotee and friend. In the beginning of the 4th chapter, this explanation was given by the Lord, and it is again confirmed here. Complete knowledge can be achieved only by the devotee of the Lord in disciplic succession directly from the Lord. Therefore, one should be intelligent enough to know the source of all knowledge, who is the cause of all causes and the only object of meditation in all types of yoga practice. When the cause of all causes becomes known, then everything knowable becomes known, and nothing remains unknown. The Vedas, Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad 1.3 say, kasminn bhavato vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavati. So, mukam karochi vachalam bhangam naite gurim yad kripa tamad bande sri guru vinatarinam. Jñānam teham sa-vijñānam idam vakṣyāmi aśeṣataḥ. Yajñātvā neha bhūyo nyaj jñātavyam avaśiṣyate. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. So, quite a very bold declaration by Kṛṣṇa, right? This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to be known. So, the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita are particularly elucidating bhakti yoga. Right, in the Vedas we have discussed, there's karma, jnana, and bhakti, upasana kanda. So the first 6 chapters, they are dealing with karma. But Kṛṣṇa gives the understanding of karma in terms of yoga, how to perform your activities in union with the Supreme. Then jnana yoga, exactly, that is in the last 6 chapters. There's lots of knowledge to reinforce our devotion. Because for the sadhaka, bhakti jnana, knowledge, is very important. So the knowledge Kṛṣṇa gives in the third section, the final 6 chapters, they reinforce our bhakti. So they are also bhakti. In the Gita, ultimately, in all the Vedas, that's in the 15th chapters, Vedaham samatitani. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Right? The purpose of all the Vedas to be known. But we see in this world, people are performing work, they're searching for knowledge, and they are trying to realize the absolute truth. What is the source? So all those topics are dealt in the Vedas. So now, this is the beginning of the middle 6 chapters. And as we've discussed previously, the earlier chapters, Karma Yoga is to work or offer your activities for the root of creation. Jnana Yoga is to use your intellect to inquire into the root of creation. And Ashtanga Yoga, which is a subsection of Karma Yoga, therefore it comes in the 6th chapter, is how to meditate upon the root of creation. So, now Kṛṣṇa, in the middle 6 chapters is going to elucidate what is that root. What is the Purusha? The absolute truth is one, but manifest in 2 aspects. The Purusha and the Prakriti. Just like we have the sun and we have the sunlight. We have the source of the sunlight and we have the sunlight. So we have the numinous, as is translated here, the origin, the independent entity, the absolute, that is the source of the phenomena or the creation, the creator and the created, the creation and the creator and the creation. The atheistic stupid people, rascals, they say there is a painting, there is a creation, but there is no painter. We've talked about this. You go into an art gallery, you stand next to someone, and you say, what a wonderful painting. Right in this room there's some paintings. And then the person next to you says, wonderful painting, but there's no painter. What kind of attitude is that? There's a wonderful creation, but there is no creator. This is an attitude problem. Atheism is an attitude problem. The devotee, because of his devotional activity, he sees the creator everywhere in the creation. That is the phenomena. So there's nominal and phenomena. And the word for word, if you remember, Prabhupada translates jñān and vijñānam. Jñān means knowledge about the phenomena in this context, and vijñān means knowledge about the numina, the source, the independent entity. So even in Western knowledge, Western philosophy, you can study Kant, and he talks about this. But still, he is describing that there is the nominal and then there is the phenomena. There is the absolute source and then there is the experience of that absolute source. So that division is there even amongst all enlightened philosophers. But because Kant didn't study evam para paraptam imam rajashayo vidu, because he didn't study in parampara, because he didn't sit at the lotus feet of a great sage, he could understand, yes, there is a source and there is a creation, but he could not understand. We've discussed this before. Atakshri Kṛṣṇa namadi nabhavad graham indriyai. That the numinal, the vijñān, the origin, the source, is beyond material sense perception. And that includes the mind, 6 senses, the mind being one. So, but by the process of bhakti, this is the special power of bhakti. When we do karma yoga, we're thinking, I'm the doing, I'm offering. When we do jnana yoga, we think, I'm using my big brain to understand the shastra. When we're doing astanga yoga, we think, I'm doing pranayama, I'm doing asana, pratyahara, I'm controlling my consciousness, I am the doer. But the special quality of bhakti is that we rely on the numinal, we rely on Kṛṣṇa. And vijñān means, we can understand here, in this context, that which is different from matter. This is a very important point, that there is a distinction. That is the source and this is the creation. So yoga means to remove the consciousness from purely trying to Ishvaro, control and enjoy the phenomena, the material creation. Yoga means to train the consciousness and fix it upon the supreme absolute truth, which is the source, Ishvara Parama Kṛṣṇa. In the Brahma Samhita 5th chapter, Lord Brahma, he starts with this, Ishvara Parama Kṛṣṇa, Sachidananda Vignaya, Anadir Adir Govinda, he's the source of all living entities, Sarva Karana Karanam. He's the source. He is Vijñān. And he is distinguished, he is Purusha from his creation, which is Prakriti. So to have this distinction, and then the material scientists, they're investigating and examining, and it is a system of knowledge, empiricism, to observe and interpret and check and experiment to get knowledge, but they're only learning about the material energy. And they are, in absence of real understanding, they're thinking that the material energy is the source of the material energy. In philosophical terms, this is called materialism, that matter is the explanation of everything. And therefore, perfection can be attained by manipulating or having a good philosophy or social system concerning matter. But then they are not connecting with the actual source of matter. So we've given the example before. They are trying to understand electricity in this microphone, in the lights, in the heating system, whatever, on the screen. But they are saying, oh, electricity is very interesting. It's positive, protons, neutrons, and there's quarks and there's gluons. But we say, okay, you're looking at the phenomena, you're looking at the electricity. Why don't you understand the power station? So spiritual life means to learn the power station, to learn the Purusha. And therefore the Bhagavatam is the full elucidation or a snapshot of the Purusha, the nominal, the Vijñān. So we'll quote that same verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasyato Nyanvat Itarascha Abhigya Swarat Tene Brahmarida Ya Adikavaye Muyanti Yat Suryaha Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinamayo Yatras Trisogo Mrisha Damna Svena Sadani Rasta Kuhakam Satcham Param Dhimahi. Dhimahi, I meditate. So that's yoga, to meditate upon the Purusha. Now listen to the translation, particularly understanding that this is a description of Purusha and his Prakriti. He is Shaktimam, origin of the Shakti. So, O my Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Kṛṣṇa. Why? Because he is the absolute truth. He is the Purusha. He is the origin. And the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, the Prakriti. Sustenance and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly, and now there's description of this Purusha. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. And he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. That is absolute. Something that is absolute is self-sustaining and independent. It is he only, no other person, who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being, By him even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. Prakriti, the action of Prakriti. As one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. They're unreal because they're temporary. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode. The Purusha is beyond Maya, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world, the Prakriti. This is the lower Prakriti, the illusory Prakriti. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. He is the numinal. So, this is the understanding of the absolute truth, is one, but it's Purusha and Prakriti. Who is Purusha? Sri Kṛṣṇa, Ishvara Parama Kṛṣṇa. In the 10th chapter, Arjuna explained, Param Dharma Para, 1 minute. Yes, you are the supreme absolute truth. And this is agreed upon aśeṣataḥ Vyasa, all the great sages. He's quoting authority, agree this. You are. And Prabhupada, when he translated Parama Purusha, that means supreme person, Parama Purush. So he talks about Kṛṣṇa as the original personality of Godhead. That means he's the source of all the other aspects. Nrsimhadev, Vishnu, Matsya, all the powered acharyas. He's the source of all the living entities. He's the original form. And who is the supreme Prakriti? Sri Radha. That's his Swarup Shakti. She is the embodiment of all the creations in the variety. So, we want to become in a situation of knowledge. We begin with this understanding. The Absolute is one, but it is understood in two aspects. So, in English, that is called moiety. It means deity is one. Moiety means a deity that has two aspects. And Sankhya philosophy is to discuss that. Sometimes it is explained that the absolute truth is like two halves of a chickpea. One is Purusha, one is Prakriti. But they are one. They are chickpea. So Radha and Kṛṣṇa, they're the ultimate. They're the source of all beauty, power, opulence, fame, fortune. They are the directly and indirectly cognizant of everything. In the 9th chapter, Kṛṣṇa will explain avyakta murtina. He says, by me in this unmanifest form, this everything is pervaded. He's talking about the material world. Because Kṛṣṇa in the material world is unmanifest, avyakta murtina. But in the spiritual world, Radha and Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa is fully manifest by the Chit Shakti, by Yoga Maya. Everything is understood in relationship to Radha and Kṛṣṇa. But in the material world, the avyakta murtina, which means an expansion, Paramatma, that is pervading. And then Kṛṣṇa says in the 9th chapter, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. Achincha-beda-bed. What does he mean? He says, everything is within me, like Mother Yashoda looked in the mouth of Kṛṣṇa, and she saw herself. She saw everything. All the universe is within Kṛṣṇa. And yet Kṛṣṇa is separate. So this is a Achincha-beda-bed. So how can we understand that? Because that how can Kṛṣṇa be the source and still everything is within Kṛṣṇa? That is material logic. Kṛṣṇa is the source of logic. He's not bound by logic. For example, if Narendra Modi, he's the big Prime Minister, if he were to come to Vrindavan, he would transgress all the traffic rules. Not that many people follow them in India anyway. But what I mean to say is, they'd block all the roads, he'd drive in any part of the road, right? He'd drive as fast as he wants, they'd stop here, they'd do that. He's not bound by the normal law. He is the Prime Minister. The governance of the country is resting upon him. He is prime. So Kṛṣṇa is the source of logic. Kṛṣṇa is the source of space and time. But he is not bound by it. And therefore, he reveals himself to whomever he pleads. He's not even bound by our sadhana. And he's not even bound by Srimati Radharani. The example of that is in the Ras Leela. They were dancing and Radharani thought, I want Kṛṣṇa by myself. So she left and Kṛṣṇa followed her. And then she became, this is Leela, Yoga Maya, but it is instructive. And then she thought, oh Kṛṣṇa, I'm a little tired now. Please carry me. Kṛṣṇa disappeared. He was even detached from Srimati Radharani. And then she went into Mahabhav, Vipralamba. Oh Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa. And then the other gopis came. One other purpose of that Leela is so that the Sadhaka gopis could see that the supreme bhakta around which they should serve is Sri Radha. And also in the Goswami's commentaries, they explain that Kṛṣṇa reappeared to Radharani and then to make her happy that I have done this for so many purposes, but please understood that I was always with you. So this is these things are for contemplation. This is spiritual knowledge. This is phenomenal, this is numinous knowledge, the origin, the absolute. How Kṛṣṇa is absolutely independent, and he is the source of all the energy, the Prakriti. But of course, he's bound by the love of Srimati Radharani, because his personality is that, and we see that reflected in all living entities, they are bound by love. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you remember, Narada Muni, he was instructed by the Bhakti Vedantas, and then one morning, it's in the Bhagavatam, he says, my mother bound me by the rope of affection. But then one morning she went out to get some water, but she was bitten by a snake and passed away. And then he explains that free of his mother's affection, then he fully dedicated himself to meditate upon the form of Vishnu as instructed by the sadhus whom he had associated with and whom his mother had served during the Chaturmasya. So this bound by affection, therefore sometimes it is stated that God is love. This is sometimes in the material world, that the highest potency is prem. But of course, ultimately, philosophically, we understand that prem is part and parcel of the absolute truth. Everything ultimately is within the Supreme Purusha, and it is expressed through the Supreme Prakriti. So it is one, but the ultimate source is Anadir Adir Govinda. And Govinda is mentioned because the Absolute Truth is not just producing energy and Prakriti, it is producing also rasa. For example, we look at the sunset and we see the beautiful colors, right? Changing. So a scientist or somebody with a closed mind may say, oh, that is the sunlight meeting the atmosphere and the light is being refracted. But that is not the full explanation. When we look at the sunlight, we think, how beautiful. That is rasa. So this is the creation. The creation is a display of energy, but it is also a display of rasa. And therefore all potencies are invested in the material universe, the spiritual creation, rasa. But the material rasa is there, but it is paltry compared to the spiritual rasa. So therefore, Rupa Goswami has said, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and he is explaining the rasa of the Absolute Truth in full, because it is that rasa, by first meditating on the Purusha, and then by getting the rasa of that meditation, that we give up attachment to the lower rasa. So this is the second vital principle to understand, that the rasa of the Absolute Truth is obviously supreme and unlimited, but it is partially manifest in the material world, in nice food, in society, friendship and love, marriage, children. There's rasa there. That's why people are working so hard to keep their family and get some status, or build a nice house, or buy a television, because they want rasa. But we should understand that all the rasa in an unlimited degree is there in the Purusha and the Prakriti. And that rasa is the cause of creation. At the beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, just like I've been talking, it is stated that the Absolute Truth is one. But why are they now manifest in two aspects, Purusha and Prakriti? Why are they? So it says, the Absolute Truth is one, but to enjoy the bliss of pastimes, they have separated themselves eternally. So the cause of it is wrong to say the separation, but separation, unity and separation, Veda Ved. The cause of the Absolute Truth manifesting Radha and Kṛṣṇa within eternal time, not bound by our material conceptions of time. What is the cause? That is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is to enjoy the rasa. The purpose of the whole creation is the exchange of rasa between Radha and Kṛṣṇa. So that theme of the exchange of rasa between Purusha and Prakriti is the basis of all creation and the whole purpose of creation. So if you understand Purusha and Prakriti in that way, then you understand the whole creation. And that's why you see, what is Purusha and Prakriti? They are exchanging rasa. What are we doing in this material world? We are searching for rasa in forgetfulness of the supreme rasa. We are trying, oh, I want love, I marry a girl. I want the rasa of children. I want children. I want vatsalya-bhav. Oh, I want a sense of opulence. I'll have a big house. So there are 5 primary rasas: conjugal, parental, friendship, servitude, and neutrality. And then there are 7 secondary rasas: laughter, astonishment, chivalry, compassion, anger, dread, and ghastliness. These are the second. And then Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he explains there are 33 sancharibhavs. They stimulate the primary and the secondary rasas, and therefore they have separation and so on and so forth. 33. I won't recite that, it'll take too long. But the point is, it is the experience of that rasa is the cause of creation. So, the particular mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Panchatattva Gaur-Nitai, is to reveal and stress or point out or focus the living entity that the supreme object of meditation is the exchange of rasa, of prem, between Radha and Kṛṣṇa. Now we see in the Sankirtan party of Gaur-Nitai, they're dancing in ecstasy. What are they meditating upon? They are meditating in their swarup, their spiritual form, on the pastimes of Radha and Kṛṣṇa. And why are we created? We are also created, every living entity is created. The purpose of creation is the exchange of love, rasa, in different varieties and different leelas between Radha and Kṛṣṇa, between Purusha and Prakriti. And we are created as servants of that exchange. That is the purpose. Mama angsa jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. That Kṛṣṇa is saying the angsa, the jiva in the material world, they are mine, they are mine, they are my parts. I have given them independent will so that they create lila and they stimulate the rasa and they serve the rasa. Huh? So if you read Kṛṣṇa Leelamrita, Kṛṣṇa Bhavanamrita, you will see that everything revolves around this exchange of rasa between Purusha and Prakriti. For example, at the beginning of Govinda Leelamrita, Radha and Kṛṣṇa, they awaken in the grove, right? The manjaris are there. Oh, it's time for, it's Mangalarti. Oh, the parents. And then, reluctantly, Radharani goes to her abode. Kṛṣṇa goes to Nanda Maharaj, right? And then they meet again. Radha is called and cooks the breakfast. And there's a big festival of breakfast in the abode of Nanda Maharaj. Why is Radharani called? Because she has the benediction from Dhruva Varsamuni. Mother Yashoda calls Radha to cook. So then they meet again. And they exchange glances while Kṛṣṇa and the cowherd boys and all the friends take the prasad. But then Krishna goes to the forest, but they've already sent messengers so that they can meet again. So then they meet again at lunchtime, and they have Julaniyatra and dancing and loving exchanges, and then they separate. And then they meet again. And in the evening, or in the Govinda Lilamrita, they meet again. It's Sunday. The Govinda Lilamrita is based on Sunday. So Radha and Krishna, they go to the Surya Mandir to worship Surya Dev. And Krishna has dressed himself as a Brahmin. And so Radha and her Shakis, they come, very pious Brijbasi ladies, and they want to offer to Surya Dev, oh, you are growing the crops, you are warming us in the night, in the evening, in the winter, and so on. And the Brahmin comes out and says, yes, now give your offerings, and I will chant the mantras. But the mantras are Agarabin Dangande Dongande Dude Dongande Dude. So Radha and Krishna, they look, who is this Brahmin? They're learned girls. They may be living in the country girls, but they know Sanskrit. The Lita Shaki is particularly, who is this Brahmin? It's Kṛṣṇa. And then this Krishna has dressed himself as a Brahmin and secretly met Radharani again. Then they meet in the evening and have Ras Leela and dancing and so on. This is just one day. And Vishwanath Chakravarti, following the previous Acharya, Krishna Das Kaviraj has given a very poetic Krishna Bhavanamrita. There's also the Sanat Kumar Samhita, that is in Jaiva Dharma. So you will see that what is, the Acharyas explained that this exchange of rasa revolves around Vipralamba, separation, Sambhog. Vipralamba, Sambhog. Radha and Krishna are meeting and then they're separating. They're meeting and separating. And this is why Parakiya ras is ultimately higher than Swakiya. Swakiya means married. There's always a conjunction. But in Parakiya ras, it is the rasa between Radha and Krishna is stimulated by this meeting and separation, meeting and separation. And all the other living entities are servant of that. The gopis, the Ashtashaki, the duties, the young, the manjaris, they are all playing a part in this. And that is the purpose of every living entity. Even the cowherd boys, right? They take Krishna to the forest. They have pastimes with Krishna. But then Krishna with Sridham and Mandu Mangal, they go and they meet Radharani. The cowherd boys are taking under rest under the tree. So everything is integrated around this primal purpose of creation. So therefore, to conquer our attachment to the rasa of this material world, Lord Chaitanya, Gaurnitai, Panchatattva, the great Acharyas, they have always taught, you meditate on this exchange, this frame between Radha and Krishna, and this rasa will enter into your consciousness and you'll forget the material rasa. As Krishna says, raso vajam raso pyasya param drispa nivartate. By really tasting the higher rasa. So this is how yoga is successfully pursued. By meditating on the Purusha, but the Leela of the Purusha. You understand? And that Leela is an exchange of ecstatic love. And we, our purpose of our creation as individual jñātavyam is to serve that exchange of, and we are integrated. But unfortunately we're in the material world and we're trying to exchange rasa and accumulate matter and so on and so forth in this lower condition. So by grace of Shastra, Acharya, Guru, we understand. Then we perform sadhana bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And this is our yajna, this is our offering, yajñānam japa. And what are we offering to? We are offering to that prema that is exchanged between Radha and Krishna. And what are we, we ye prasade pure sarva asha, right? We sing every morning. By His grace, Krishna prapti. By Guru's grace, I can obtain Krishna, asha. By His grace, my desire. We sing also, Mora e abilas, bilas kunja diovas. I want to enter into those pastimes. What does the Hare Krishna mantra mean? It means, O Radha, O Krishna, O Ram, another name for Krishna, please engage me in your service, in the service of your ecstatic Loka Leela. So we also can practice vipralamba. This is taught by Lord Chaitanya, that you should be feeling, I'm in this material world with this material body. I've got the seasonal cold. This body is heavy and dull. Oh, Radha and Krishna, how I can go to your abode? By your mercy, by Guru Kripa, by your mercy. So we should be desiring, because we are desiring objects. We have to not desire the material world, but incidenta, in proper understanding, we have to desire. And we are made for that. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadakabanai Shravanadi Sudachitte Karide Udai. We are made for that. So we're not imposing ourselves on the spiritual world. We are welcome there, like in the Brihat Bhagavatamrita, when Gopakumara meets Krishna. We are welcome there. We are made for that environment. And therefore, Adhurya Leela, Lord Chaitanya comes. Come, don't stay here. Come to the spiritual world where you belong. People are not made for the prison house. They're made to be free citizens. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And what does Krishna say? What's in the Upanishads? Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam, Eko Yo Didadati Kaman. There is one Supreme Eternal, there's one supremely conscious being. He knows everything. And what is he conscious of? Eko Yo, that one, Didadati Kaman. He fulfills the desire of all the living entities. So that means it doesn't matter if you're very intelligent, very young, very old. The key to going to Golok is what? Desire. I want to go there to serve the rasa between Radha and Krishna. And that is my meditation as I chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you very much. By your association, I can say something. Any question? Yes. Put the mic like this. You see? Yeah, but horizontally. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead. Horizontally, horizontally. It's unidirectional. Yeah, how can I? How I can do it? Practice makes perfect. Practice. Huh? Always know that you are the controller of your consciousness. That's why there's punishment and reward. So by your will, you understand? And you develop your will by austerity, tapasya. Therefore, devotee should follow Ekadashi. He should control the tongue, tapasya. Huh? You have to develop your will, your desire. You have to rise up. You have to decide, this is what I want. Huh? You understand? And also, you have to have sadhu sangha. And you have to asat sangi tyagi. Bad association, materialistic association. You don't associate with that. You may know people and you in the course of life, but your association should be those that encourage you. But ultimately, as Prabhupada said, we're all in our own aeroplane. We have to fly it back to Godhead. Right? We are in control of our consciousness by our will. So, by sadhu sangha, by shastra, by practice, then at the beginning, cetodarpanamarjanam, the mind is being purified. Just like when you clean your room, the dust kicks up, right? But then you keep cleaning and the dust is gone. Cetodarpanamarjanam, bhavamaha nivagnipa. Then your materialistic desires will become less. Then, that is a very good thing. Then vidyavadu jivanam. Then realization of your spiritual nature will come. And then you'll have realization, and then anandam buddhivardhanam. So you must be patient, and you must endeavor. And whatever problems are there, you just overcome them. Like the Ganga. You may put rocks and barriers, but the Ganga keeps flowing. So you have to be strong. Tapasya, like Lord Brahma. He awoke on the lotus flower. What is my source? What is my origin? He heard one word. What is that word? Tapa. You will understand the source, the Purusha, by tapa. Therefore we have regulative principles. Therefore we practice steadily, like that. But in the center of that is your determination. That is tapasya. It's up to you what you achieve in life, right? There's an expression, the world is your oyster. Just like you go in the MVT restaurant, there's a big menu. Who chooses? You choose. Oh, I'm going to have the lasagna. There's 200 other things, right? So in life there is so much to choose, right? Kali Yuga, everything is there. Huh? What are you going to choose? You see? You see the point? So, by sadhu sangha we become inspired. By a satsangi chagi we continue. But the central point is decision, my decision. What do I want out of my life? Kṛṣṇa explains in the Gita, ashraddha dana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsaravatmani. Those that are not faithful, I'm not saying this is applicable to you, those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, but return to birth and death in this material world. Mrityu samsaravatmani. Krishna is making it very plain. So that is good. You either go to Golok or you another birth. You will continue, you or the person, the sadhaka will continue. But Bhakti Vinod in the 13th chapter of Harinam Chintamani, he says, he explains the aparad to the holy name, how to overcome. And then in the 13th chapter he says, but any person, he says, many people, they just carry on life after life. Vaishnav birth, this situation. But then he explains at the end, he says, but that person who becomes determined, in one lifetime he can attain Golok. But the determination has to come from us, as spirit soul. And that is available to everyone, man, woman, child, young, old, right? That's why Dhruva, right? Dhruva means fixed. He went to the forest. His mother said, the sages go to the forest. He went. He was determined. Dhruva, and there's the pole star, right? Everything revolves around the pole star. But that's the fixed point. So Dhruva Maharaj, fixed. So we have to be fixed in our determination. Huh? Yes. Is that clear? You have everything in your hand. You understand? You have Vrindavan, you have Bhagavatam, you have Sadhu Sangha, you have the Maha Mantra. This is everyone's position in Kali Yuga. Have you the determination? Right? Yes, Mataji. Huh? You have to speak loudly. I'm sorry, it's not clear what you're saying. Do you understand? Yeah, one minute. Yeah, so at the beginning, what happens with the child when it's walking? Does it, first it learns to walk. It falls up and down, then it learns to walk. Then it learns to dance, right? So, bhakti is like that. The child doesn't think, when he falls down, I'm staying down, it's hurting, my knee's hurting. The child says, I want to be like the grown-ups, right? But don't try to dance before you can walk. So you have to do the right practice at the right time. Do you understand? So if you have problem, don't worry about that. That's normal. Like to understand Krishna is a big job. But it's also very easy because we are part of Krishna. You just have to continue through determination and avoid materialistic. That is tapasya, you see. Strengthen your desire by good association. Come to class. Study the Shastra 1 hour a day. Chant regularly. Then, how do you grow a tulsi plant? You put the seed. What do you do then? You have to water. You have to protect it. You have to find some fertilization, right? And then the tulsi will grow nicely. You have to give love and affection. So the bhakti lata beach, you have to grow. The devotee is like a gardener. He grows his devotion. He knows one thing, that if I follow a Kṛṣṇa, that's my eternal benefit. And he knows that everything I am realizing about Kṛṣṇa, step by step, that is my eternal possession. You understand? Neha brakana nashosti prachabhayo navijate. In this endeavor there's no loss or diminution. So whatever you've achieved, that's your permanent asset. Whatever you realized about Kṛṣṇa, that's your permanent asset. You'll never lose it. All you have to do is, it's like a bank account. You can only put money in. And you can take all the money out, but it still remains the same. You'll always have what you've realized. You will always have the result of your bhakti endeavor. You understand? So that's a very nice bank account, is it not? That the capital only increases. Never diminishes. So you should think, I'm going to study this sloka, and I'll get, by grace of Guru and Kṛṣṇa, I'll get some idea. Oh, that realization is yours eternally. This is how you put money in your bank account. Right? Okay, we'll finish at this point. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.